O sige, okay, let's go ahead. No? Dito sa ating topic na i-discuss mo, how should I apply for a British passport? So take it away, attorney.
Okay. So ito pong topic natin, should I apply for British passport? This was this is courtesy of a viewer. I'll just use her so it's MP, no? So I'm not using her full name at her request. But ang gandang question niya. So her question is really to sum it up, should she apply for British passport? So Paula, if you don't mind, if you have nga the question, the feature question, basahin natin and I'll go through it. So ito pong topic natin nga ngayon dealing with MP's question. So sabi po niya ito, isa po akong taga-subaybay sa inyong programa, no, na Immigration Corner kasama si Mr. Sonny Laragan. Now, me and my daughter, who was under 18, then came to the UK via family route by my British husband in July 2017. Very sadly, I lost my husband to lung cancer noong July 2021. I'm so sorry, no? Together, me and my daughter applied for indefinite leave to remain in August 2021, right after the death of my loving husband. We received our approved ILR, so indefinite leave to remain, noong March 2022. So not long after. At the moment, we both hold indefinite leave to remain visa or permit. Ngayon po, ay nice na naming pag-apply ng naturalization. Ang daughter ko ay 24 years old na at may sarili siyang trabaho. Although nakatira pa rin siya sa bahay ko, no? So yung umpisa, no? Ang tanong ko po ay dapat po ba o pwede po ba na maghiwalay na kami ng application for naturalization? Okay? Gusto na kasi ng daughter ko na maging British citizen habang ako ay hindi pa ako sigurado kung gusto ko pang mag-apply ng naturalization. Dahil mula nung nawala ang asawa ko ay sobrang nalulungkot ako dito sa UK. At parang gusto ko na lang umuwi for good, no? So kaso ang iniisip ko kung kailangan ba na sabay pa rin kami ng anak ko o mag-apply ng naturalization o kahit siya lang mag-isa mag-apply. Pwede po ba yan, no? So that's the first that's one of the points, no? Kung sakali na mag-apply po ako ng naturalization and be granted with positive results, kailangan ko po bang talaga for me to live here, no? Or do I have to live here muna for considerable length of time before I could go back and forth? Say 6 months here, 6 months there, no? By there, ibig sabihin, of course, Pilipinas. Well, now, of course, but siguro Pilipinas. Will that pose a problem, no? Baka din kasi mas magstay na talaga ako sa Pilipinas longer at pasyalan na nga lang ako lang ng daughter ko dito sa UK, no? That's actually this is a very common issue, no? So meron pa bang dagdag, Paula, or that was pretty much it? I thought there was something else nga, dagdag nga niya. Now, yun. So, a number of points, and I love this question. That she's asking for so many issues na talaga it is usong-uso na nga ngayon. So thank you, MP, no, for this, and that's why we're using it as our feature question. So it's our topic nga ngayon. Should I apply for British passport? So let's break it down, ha. So unang-una sa anak mo, so sa daughter mo, no. So, dumating siya dito, entered the UK as a minor. So, under 18 nga siya, dumating siya dito. Ngayon, 24 years old na yung bata, may trabaho na nga siya. She has indefinite leave to remain. Well, they both have, no? Indefinite leave to remain. Indefinite leave to remain, or ILR, is the same as settled status. It is the same, really, as permanent residence. So, basically, wala na kayong limit as to the time that you can remain in the United Kingdom, no? So, yun ang situation ng daughter niya. Question para sa anak niya ito. Now, do they submit one application, no, together? So, dependent nga yung bata. Because they previously submitted, when she was coming from the Philippines to the United Kingdom, no, maybe one application na magkasama nga sila dito. And it could even be that later on nga, nagpasok silang application, nandito nga sila, magkasama nga sila ulit dahil under 18 pa nga rin yung bata, no? So, ang sagot ko doon, so yung question nga, do they have to submit one application? The answer is no. You have to submit separate applications. Dahil yung bata, unang-una nga, well, actually, for naturalization, it's a different process naman. But it's separate applications. Separate sa'yo, separate sa bata. So yung bata, pag-usapan natin muna yung anak mo. So yung bata, she must satisfy in her own right, no, the requirements for the naturalization. So for example nga, good character, no? May trabaho nga siya dito. I'm assuming that she's not been she's not had criminal convictions, ganon. So she needs to satisfy that amongst other things, ha? So lahat-lahat ay English language, ganon. So hindi mo pwede siyang isama sa isang application. So she needs to submit an application, no? Now, also, do you have two separate applications? Do you have to submit it together? No. The answer is again no. No. She can apply an application without you as long as mapapakita nga niya that she satisfies the requirements to become naturalized, to become a British citizen. So basically, they would be things like good character, no. And that includes the fact na may trabaho nga siya dito, there are no convictions, mga ganoon. She also needs to satisfy, of course, the life in the UK test and the English language, which she probably has because she got indefinite leave to remain. There's no minimum income requirement nga for the naturalization, but there are fairly strict guidelines or guidance nga on the issue of absences. So sa inyong pareho, you need to both be able to show that you have not been absent from the United Kingdom for more than 450 days in the last 5 years. Okay, so 450 days is a long time. Even if you got stuck, say, some of my clients got stuck in the abroad because of COVID, no? So 450 days in the last 5 years, you can't be absent, and 90 days in the last 12 months. Okay. So 90 days in the last 12 months. So you need to look at the last 5 years first, and then count the last 12 months. Have you been absent, or has she been absent, or indeed you been absent for more than 90 days in the last 12 months? Kung okay lahat yun, she can make an application quite separately, no, for naturalization leading to a British passport. Now, sitwasyon ni nanay, okay, ito. So our viewers, sabi niya, so she has indefinite leave to remain, okay? Now, ikaw nga din, you can make an application for naturalization because it looks like you had your visa nga in March 2022, no? Which obviously means that you've had indefinite leave to remain for well over the last, the usual 12 months. That of course now August 2023 na tayo. Now, the two applications, that is the British passport, indefinite leave to remain, the British passport, as you know, are quite different applications, okay? But you become British once you're naturalized, okay? But then after that, pagka nakakuha ng British, once you become naturalized, kailangan mo pa rin British passport. Yun ang ebidensya basically that you're a British citizen, and you need that to be able to travel. But the two are quite separate applications. So, kung kailangan mo gamitin, o plan mo, gagamitin mo yung British passport, magbebahe nga, then you need to also allow additional time to get the British passport nga mismo, which takes a little bit longer dahil first passport mo nga, no? But you should do that. You must allow the time nga. Now, yung question mo, which is really, I see this issue more and more. So, ang question mo should you apply? No, not really sure. Should you apply? Naintindihan ko nga din na ang lungkot mo nga dahil namatay nga asawa mo. You're probably missing, the Philippines, and and it's quite, the weather is different nga, no, and baka may mga kamag-anak ka pa sa atin, and of course mamimiss mo yung anak mo, so you want to be able to potentially go backwards and forwards. And I see this issue more and more, no? Yung mga tao, mga kababayan natin na pumasok dito in the 70s, in the 80s, or indeed even the 90s, no? They're thinking now of, they're either retired, no? O kaya they're thinking of retiring. Na pagod na nga sila, o meron silang ipon, meron silang pundo, papunta nga sa atin, mga bata nga, tumandaan na nga, they're looking after themselves. So they're now deciding, okay, should they remain in the Philippines or should they go back nga for good nga sa atin or should they retire nga in the United Kingdom? Now, ang payo ko, MP, ito, you should try and keep your options open. Okay? And how do you do this? No? So the first step I would say is apply to become naturalized. And later on, of course, get a British passport. Now, you can be dual anyway. No, you can be Filipino and British at the same time. So it's not a question of choosing which one. So it's not like, say, some countries such as, I think, in the Netherlands, for example, no, I think you have to actually choose either you have that nationality, you're either Dutch or you are indeed British. No? So you don't have to make that choice. So dito you can be Filipino and British, which of course means you have the possibility then also of coming back to the United Kingdom. Now, kung dito nakatira yung bata, and chances are she's probably making the UK her home or has made the UK her home, meron siyang trabaho, baka meron siyang mga partner na nga din dito, you probably want to be able to come back on a regular basis to see her. And the most, ang pinakadelikado kung hindi ka nga British is, pagka natagalan ka sa atin, sabihin natin 2 years plus ka sa atin, tuloy-tuloy, no? Then babawiin nila yung indefinite mo. So, ibig sabihin, you start from the beginning again. Problema nga lang, hindi ka basta-basta makukuha ng anak mo nga dito. Because that would then be making an application under the adult dependent route. Ang mga viewers natin, no, laging sumusubaybay, you will know that yung adult dependent route is a very difficult route, no, to succeed on. So, sayang nga lang, no, kung mawala nga yung indefinite mo, yung status mo nga dito. And that also means, kung British ka at Filipino passport holder ka nga din, it means that anytime you want to come back to the United Kingdom, you can do that, no? Also, on top of that, kung if you remain also resident in the UK, so ibig ko sabihin, may bahay ka dito, dito naman katira anak mo, so siguro you keep the address that you have now, no, together. Meron kang bank account nga dito, ginagamit mo naman, o hindi alis sarado. Kung meron kang pension, doon naman bumabagsak, no? May account ka rin nga din sa atin, but may account ka pa nga rin dito. And maybe you have a couple of bills also that you continue to pay, no, dito sa UK. So it is then likely that you will be considered ordinarily resident in the United Kingdom. Importante yun, MP. Just in case you need to make access NHS care, no? Dahil kahit British ka, kung hindi ka ordinarily resident in the United Kingdom, kahit pinanganak ka ditong British, it does not mean that you're entitled to NHS care, no? But if you're ordinarily resident in the UK and you are British, no, then you would be able to access NHS care. So sabihin natin nagkasakit ka, no, and you want to come back to the United Kingdom, so alagaan ka ng anak mo. And you can do that because firstly, you're British and potentially you are ordinarily resident in the UK. So, pero kung hindi ka nawala nga yung status mo, yung indefinite mo, dahil hindi ka nakabalik ka nga dito, dahil nagkasakit ka sa atin, hindi ka nakabalik. So, ibig sabihin sa ating kailangang gamutin, and more importantly, you won't be able to just come back na to the United Kingdom to be with your daughter, no, at your time of need. So, kung ako ikaw, do it. You should really apply to become naturalized. Alam ko, sometimes things kind of get overwhelming, no? Na ayaw mo nang magpupugod ka na nga lang dahil lungkot nga dito. You feel that, well, why bother kind of making an application for naturalization? Dahil you've gone through a traumatic situation nga, namatay ang asawa mo. So I can see why perhaps you're looking at it that way, but unfortunately, that means potentially closing, no, that option, and you want really to keep that open. So sabihin natin, you're British, umuwi ka sa atin, you don't come back for another 10 years, that's fine, okay? So apart from the issue of the NHS, kung gusto mo bumalik dito nga, dahil may mga apo ka na, gusto mo talaga makita, or circumstances change, you then want to settle in the UK again, you can do that as long as you are British. So, ang payo ko, go for the naturalization, no, MP. The fee for the naturalization is 1,330. massive, but not as big as it would be if you lose your visa, your naturalized your visa nga, your residency, and then you have to apply under the returning resident route. So I would say do it. So on top of that, there's I think it's £50, the Life in the UK test, but you've already done that, for the indefinite leave to remain. And the English language, I think it's about £250. But again, you've done that already. So you don't have to redo those again. Pwede mong gamitin nga yun for the for the naturalization application. So really, it's 1,330 is the main fee. Included na yung £80, which is the citizenship fee on. So it's I would do it. And okay, there's a fee additionally to get the British passport, but I think it's something like £80 nga lang. So really, kung kaya mo, I would do it before making a decision to go back. So it's I'm so pleased about that question, that it truly is something na happens. I see this situation at least once a week. And today, kanina nga lang, I have two clients who are asking me similar questions nga, And actually, I forgot to send them the link to tonight. So hopefully, nanonood nga sila. Because sabi ko nga sa kanila, itong topic nga natin ngayon. But yeah, it's do it, MP.